Hey, Cesc Julian here at Padel Smash Academy, and today we're going to talk about these three main events happening in this next couple months. One is going to be the Premier Padel, Racquet X, and the Miami Open.
And we're with Pura Vida, coffee time.
You're so lame, bro. It's all right, man.
We are all things paddle.
Let's first talk about Premier. All right, the last time they were here, it wasn't Premier, it was World Padel Tour, right?
Well, let's talk about, what's coming in March. March is going to be a mega, humongous racket sports event.
Yeah.
Because we have the Premier,
Yep.
we have the Miami Open,
Yes.
and the Racquet X.
Yes.
All those three events happening at the same time here in Miami. First time in the history of the racket sports. It's going to be a conglomerate of racket sports here.
Yes. It's going to be a great event. You shouldn't miss any of those. But let's start with one. So again, let's start with Premier Padel.
Yes.
Right. So last time that event was here, it wasn't Premier Padel. It was World Padel Tour, and that was, I think, in 2021. Was it? 2020?
Probably, yeah. No, 21.
21. And
right after COVID.
And
yeah.
prior to that, it came before that in 2016.
Yes.
Right? So that was outside. That was over at Seaplane.
Reserve.
Reserve.
Well, it wasn't officially reserve, but
it was
Watson
Island.
Yeah, Watson Island, the same location where reserve Seaplane is right now.
So it was a great event. I mean, there was a few things. It was outside, so they didn't have a controlled environment. It was a little windy. It was hot, I remember.
It was hot, and that was the first event, which, this is interesting, the first event that Arturo Coelho won as a professional player, partnering with Bella.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is that now Coelho is #1 in the world, and Bella just retired, and he's going to be the tournament director at the Premier Padel Tour here in Miami. Super interesting facts.
So this year, I remember the event. It was great, but I think it was probably 50% of people were there in a bar area, not really interested in paddle, and then the other 50 obviously were on the stands watching paddle, like myself. And I remember LeBron complaining many times that the bar was too loud, and he didn't want to continue playing. But he's always kind of creating those drama situations, anyways. But he had it was somewhat warranted because typically when you watch paddle or a racket sport, when they're playing, you're just quiet and you're watching. Here they're partying, making a lot of noise. So it was a great event. I loved it. And the best thing, it was their easy access to these, to these players, top 20 players. They're walking around. You got to talk to them, take pictures with them. It was really cool. Remind me way back in the day in the 70s and 80s, going to US Open, and you're able to go and talk to the players. It was really cool.
Yeah, you were in your mid-20s, right?
No, I was
the 70s.
No, I was
probably,
just 10, 12, 13 years old, I was a little one back then. But so this year is going to be different. This year is going to be in a controlled environment. It's going to be indoors, and it's at the convention center.
Miami Beach Convention Center, from March 17th to the 23rd.
So it's going to be very different when it comes to the controlled environment. Obviously, they got the lighting. Obviously, there's not going to be an issue with weather. You're always freaking out about rain and all that stuff. It's going to be broadcasted, very organized. But I also believe that they're getting very involved. I mean, you mentioned about Bella and a few other people getting involved in trying to promote this event. And I think they're doing a really smart thing where they're not trying to sell a bunch of tickets, although the tickets are on sale. They're going to all the clubs, going to all the influencers, and really talking to them, trying to get the word out, giving away tickets, and we'll be giving away tickets as well. So I think it's a kind of a smart way of doing things. They want to invest a good 3 years into this and to getting people there. They're being realistic for how many people are going to come. So if you can, please go to it. You got to support these paddle tournaments. You're gonna see some top 50 players in the world there. I mean, it's just
Yeah, it's
gonna
going to
be
be the
cool.
best of the best,
Right.
and it's going to be super exciting. March 17th to the 23rd, and at the same time, from the 16th to the 30th, we have the Miami Open going, which is also called the fifth Grand Slam here in Miami. Mega ultra tennis event.
Hmm.
Every single professional tennis player is going to be here, but this year, for the first time in the history of any tennis professional tournament here in the USA, they're putting 3 paddle courts
Yeah.
on the site. So they're trying to bring the awareness to all the tennis players about paddle, which I think it's a
Super
great
smart.
leap forward
Super
to
smart.
introduce that to the players. If you go to the Miami Open, you're going to be able to play. They're going to have each club around here. They're reaching out to each club, the Miami Open, and they're going to be able to each club bring their players and play, do clinics, do events and things like that on the paddle courts during the events. And the most important thing is Red Paddle and the World Paddle Rating system. They are doing the Master Finals at the Miami Open,
Yeah.
which the tournament that was here in reserve as of what was it, last week? There was
A couple weeks ago.
a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago. So that was one part of the circuit that goes into the Master Finals at the Miami Open on the 16-20. It's going to be most likely the second week of the Miami Open.
I think that's a great idea because you're gonna have a lot of tennis players that may have heard of it, but never played it. Be able to
Yeah.
try it. Also, to be able to see a high level games and to see that how much energy, effort, and skill you need to play paddle. So it's going to be a great event. You guys should definitely go to that. We'll be there.
So you have the Miami Open going from the 16th to the 30th, the 17th to the 23rd. At the same time, you're going to have the Premier Padel. So that's going to be a great racket synergy. And while that is going on, we have also Racquet X from the March 22nd to the 24th, right next to the Premier Paddle Tour at the convention center, literally a wall dividing one to the next. So if you go to the Premier Paddle Tour event, jump next door, you're going to have the biggest racket convention, most likely in the world, where not only it's paddle, tennis, pickleball, squash, racquetball, all the racket sports are going to be right there. What you're going to have from vendors, all apparels from all racket sports. They're building 3 paddle courts, 3 pickleball courts. They're going to have a squash court and something else. I mean, it's going to be super, super exciting. Last year we were there. What do you think last year? I think
Well,
last year,
I think it's first. They're really smart. I think both like the Premier or World Paddle Tour and then Racquet X started last year or in 2021, and they realized that you have to put more effort into promoting this and getting people there. That's the whole question. Forget about charging them or trying. Just get people there. That's the first step. I think they realize that both of them. I think it's really smart that they have in the same day right next
yeah,
to each other because it's going to help each other out. So people going to the RacquetX are going to go Premier, and Premier going to Racquet X. I think that's really, really smart.
yeah,
And Racquet X last year, it's at it is at its beginning. So I think they're ambitious, of course. I think they expected more people there, and I don't think that was the case. I think they expected more than what was there. Now, what they did smart was they had a little tournament there,
yeah.
and this brought all the locals there, which was great because I don't think if they had that, I'm not sure they would have a lot less. Now they have a lot of booths there, and they had a lot of good networking, and I think that was really, really great. We did a lot of interviews with a lot of people there. I think this year is going to be way better. I mean, only because the premiere is next door. So you're going to get a lot of people coming into that. Plus, people have already gone to it last year, so they know what to expect. And if they missed last year's, they're going to want to come to this year. So I'm expecting, double the people there this year,
Yeah.
and just more booths there, and just being a better event in general.
Yeah, the brands, I think they're going to be there. Last year, as it was the first year, I think it was more all the paddle brands, they wanted to be there because all the international paddle brands, they're trying to move into this American market. So it was more like paddle, more centric than any other racket sports, even though they had pickleball and tennis and all that. Tennis was not really as
Wasn't the main focus.
yeah, it wasn't the main focus. Pickleball and paddle was, but this year now they have the credibility, so I think it's going to be a more a racket
Definitely.
mix and all that.
Definitely.
And they're already proven that it works. There is a need for those type of
I think
conventions.
I think they should focus on just getting people in the doors.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the first thing, because the people paying for the booths, they're expecting that. So creating proper marketing, forget about charging people, I mean, or there's small percentage of charging people, giving away a lot of tickets, because you just want people there.
Yeah.
Once they're there, they enjoy it. They enjoy their day. They make their contest and network, and you're proving that people will go there. Then you could think about selling
Yeah.
tickets and so forth.
I mean, look, for us, it was just a great thing for the networking aspect. I mean,
Yeah.
if you are a brand, if you're an upcoming brand, whatever you do, if you're in the racket world, for us, it was incredible.
Yeah.
We met so many interesting people, interesting brands.
Yes.
We interviewed so many people. It was really very opening for us as well.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the people at the booths are looking for volume, right? The more
Yeah.
people they can talk to, the better chance they can convert one as a customer.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing there. You get a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Somebody at the booth may get 1, 2, 3 customers that they can convert, as a paying customer. It's worth their
Yeah.
while, and they'll be back. And that's one of the main, purposes of having that event. Of course, the exposure to it is another part.
And I know they're doing a partnership with the Miami Open. I think a RacquetX, you can buy a ticket where you have access to the Miami Open as well as RacquetX.
That's really smart.
I know they're doing a partnership also with the Premier. So for everyone, I mean, if you love racket sports, there are going to be over 1 million people that only played racket sports here in the Miami area on those 2 weeks, because of the Miami Open attracts so many people. Also, the RacquetX and the Premier Padel Tour is going to attract so many enthusiasts of paddle and racket sports.
And this is just proving that the growth of paddle is here.
It's
I
here.
mean, you have these 3 huge events. I mean, it's incredible. So paddle is just growing and growing. If you can get out here to any of those events, I mean, you should. You're going to meet some great people, great paddle. The paddle community is going to be there, always there. Like, we all know each other, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, and if you see us walking around, come and say hi.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at these events.